Welcome to the very first Bizcuits Podcast.
When you compare that to other industries, the CFD broker industry definitely needs to step it up.
We have one of the best CSAT scores in the market. Our support team is amazing. They work around the clock.
Who are the people that we want to work with? Do they have the same values?
In the age of social media and all of these, humans became, I don't want to call ourselves animals, but we need to find what we're looking for immediately.
It's a tool that can be used immediately, a non-code solution.
And that's something that we are bringing to the table.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Bizcuits Podcast. Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Manuel. I will be your host, also working for Bizcuits as the training coordinator. However, we are surrounded over here. Well, surrounded sounds a bit dramatic, but we are here with two people that are basically the pillars of how Bizcuits has managed to reach its point where it is right now. We have Tristan, our CEO and also co-founder, and Barbara, working as a sales and communication executive from Text. Thank you very much, guys, for coming to the first episode once again of Bizcuits. Yes, round of applause.
Thank you very much, Manuel, for the introduction.
Thank you.
So, basically to start kicking things off right away, I'm going to start with you, Tristan, and I wanted to hear firstly from you, more than the company itself. I want to hear more from you as a person and what made you reach this point, but also how Bizcuits came to be as well.
Thank you very much, Manuel. Barbara.
No worries.
So basically, throughout my whole career, I was always more so involved or exposed to operations. Mm-hmm. My first ever job was a call center agent in a towing company, and that's where I was exposed to the bare bone fundamentals of operations. Fast forward a couple of years, that's where I got introduced to the trading space with a new opportunity that I had back then. Mm-hmm. And that's where I continued to learn about brokers, the trading industry on a introductory level.
Okay.
Customer support, payments, verification, compliance. Fast forward to 2024, I had the opportunity to get together with the other two co-founders of Bizcuits, and we decided to start something ourselves. We found extremely solid support from our partners, which also
Amazing.
solidified the company infrastructure in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Bizcuits started as an operations management company, providing support or back office to the CFD brokers, services such as customer support, payments, compliance, adherence, marketing, risk management. And through day-to-day operations, we started to identify gaps within the industry, or gaps in our operations. And we started to build a tech team, which complemented the gaps and bridged the gaps that we had, which is currently in progress. In parallel to that, we also have the acquisition funnel, which is the affiliates department, which identifies key people that are able to garnish attention, bring them over to us, and we send the traffic to the brokers.
Okay.
And that's what Bizcuits is doing.
Nice. Really happy to hear from both sides, basically, how things started and where you guys are at the moment, or where it came to be, let's say. But now we're going to be moving to you, Barbara.
Okay.
And specifically, what is your story with Text and what does your role involve? Let's say?
Yes, I've been working at Text for 3 years now. I work as a part of the new business team, so I help new businesses on board onto our platform. I love working hands-on with our customers, but also the strategic part is super exciting. So I love the fact that I can, strategize their goals with them, see the missing links, the problems, identify the problems in their current setup, and try to fix it with the use of our platform. And I do have a background in psychology, which may be a little bit of a surprise, working in tech. But I love merging these two fields with a primary focus on the end user's behavior and expectations, and deliver the stellar customer support to the end users of our businesses that we work with. So that's that.
Nice,
Thanks.
nice, nice. Definitely wasn't expecting the
Super
power
nice.
of psychology. But I can see how, especially since it's all about communicating with the client and so on. And
Yeah.
like you said, the behavior, definitely your point of view is going to be very unique when it comes to that.
Thank you.
Now let's make things a little bit fun. Now that we're going through
Okay.
the warm up, if your team could describe you, and I would like you guys to be honest, describe you in one word, what do you think that word would be? And you can elaborate as much as you want, of course.
I think I would say vibrant.
Okay.
Particularly because I like to bring joy to other people. Makes me happy. So
Nice.
vibrant.
Nice.
Energetic, I would say. I think I bring a lot of energy into the room. I am typically a yes person, so up for any challenge.
Like
Yeah.
that movie from Jim Carrey, Yes Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. So now let's move forward a little bit into a more deep diving manner, let's say. And I'm going to be starting with you, Tristan, mostly because, especially on my tenure as well on Bizcuits and how the business has grown in general, it's being quite fast, let's say, the growth that Bizcuits has had. What I wanted to move on into the next question was, what are some of the biggest challenges, let's say, that you have faced in your space today?
Yeah, so there's a number of challenges, right? One of the most notable challenges, the changes in compliance and regulations which
yeah.
continue to adapt and change. But if you dive deeper in the industry itself, there's more challenges that the industry faces on a day-to-day basis. The first notable deep challenge would be technology and the innovation within the technological department.
Yeah.
If you take a closer look at the platforms that are being utilized now, there's pretty much more so the same platforms that used to be used in the early 2000s.
Yeah, which sounds not so long ago, but it's over 20 years already.
That we're talking about 26 years, right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
When you compare that to other industries, the industry that we operate in, the CFD broker industry, definitely needs to step it up, and that is something that we are bringing to the table from Bizcuits' perspective. So that's number one. The second challenge, I already touched briefly on this, is the relationships with affiliates, right? So unfortunately, the relationship between affiliates and the industry itself through time might have been damaged, primarily because deals set for ambassadors, influencers weren't properly adhered or respected, which might have potentially broken the trust that is out there from the affiliate's perspective. So what we want to do is fix that relationship. Okay, you want a safe space? Come here and come work with us, and we'll find that safe space for you. And that definitely takes time to do, because it's like a broken relationship, and you have to start fixing it slowly. But if you remain consistent, that is a challenge that we aim to fix ourselves. So.
Okay. No, very, very good answer, honestly. And I keep thinking previously of how you were mentioning that communication is key and so on. And I wanted to ask you how partnering with a platform like Text actually helps you bring that vision to reality, to actual life.
Yeah, completely. So Text provide us with the support infrastructure to deliver, communication with the customers. So, and communication to me and to the company is extremely important. That is something that we firmly believe in, right? So when you have a platform like Text, which clearly defines how that communication is bridged, it becomes easier for us to navigate. And it also reflects indirectly in the people that actually bring the business, which are the affiliates. So if affiliates are bringing business, if affiliates are bringing the end user, and the end user requires support, instead of the end user having to contact the affiliate can rest on professionals such as ourselves to support their own customers, which leaves enough room and space and time for the affiliates to focus on actually, scaling,
and even growing. No,
exactly, completely.
Nice,
so
nice,
we
nice,
take
nice.
that. We take that from.
It's a win-win situation basically between both parties. Amazing.
And Text has been, doing that very well. So
Good to hear that. Amazing.
Nice. So yes, speaking of text, actually, I'm going to be shifting focus now towards you, Barbara. So what I wanted to ask you is that what was the mission behind the platform, and also how it has evolved over time, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. A very interesting question in the context of the recent rebranding. We definitely emerged as a LiveChat provider, but we've been in the market for quite a while now, 23 years now.
23 years, wow.
Yeah, so it has been evolving, that's for sure. I think we're in a place now where we can call ourselves text technology experts and provide businesses we work with expertise and not just the product. The mission, I guess, would be empower the businesses that we work with customer support tool that will be scalable, will make frictionless, smooth, communication, ensure smooth communication between those businesses and their end users. And definitely doing that with the power of AI these days. This is something that we're
that's not even the future. That's the present already.
Exactly.
So,
definitely something we're heavily focusing on these days. Our roadmap is rich with AI enhancements, and we were already delivering that through our chatbot, but also AI enhancements in all of our products. Automation is a big part of that agenda. That's for sure.
Very, very good to hear. Very good to hear. Because we are all very aware how AI is everywhere.
Exactly.
Social media, you wake up, you dream about AI. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's not all about AI, of course. And something that I wanted to mention is that out there people refer to text, or even as we mentioned before, better known or previously known, as LiveChat, more for its chat feature. But there's clearly more to offer than just a chat service that it's going to be used for our one business to its customers. So what is that deeper value, let's say?
Underlying.
Exactly, that
magic.
You offer magic, the magic wand.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but to companies, let's say, like Bizcuits, what would be that value, let's say, that core value that you want to provide?
As you said, definitely the widget on the website is the entry point. Only it's 1% of what the tool has to offer. The real magic happens when you actually think about everything that is happening on the back end and that the businesses we work with can operationally do to improve the processes. So when you start thinking about integrating other channels, using other products, shared mailboxes, collaboration features, AI. That's really empowering businesses with all the tools they need to make that move towards the smooth, scalable communication efforts. And
again, it's more about seeing how the relationship so far between text and Bizcuits has reached its level of success, but definitely rightfully so.
Importantly, I guess, being an industry agnostic platform working across all the different industries, there's going to be different value for different businesses that we work with. So I'd be curious, what would you say, from your perspective, is the strongest point or drives the most value for you guys?
I think if you think about it, how this platform comes together, the way we're set up is you have different layers of support and you have different people working on different products because we're a multi-brand environment. And LiveChat is able to, or text is able to deliver that for us pretty well. So you have agents that are focusing on different brands and different technology. You have LiveChat, you have Helpdesk, you have so those are two different channels that we utilize heavily on the front support. And the way they are integrated together makes it seamless from your side.
Even better.
So, and on top of that, you have insights, which are proactive approach that they bring forward, which we value, the insights, because they give us a clear indication of what the customers are struggling with.
Yeah,
from-
and I'm glad you're saying that, because that's what I mean by the scalability. We work with a lot of businesses who have multiple brands, and making it seamless for their support teams or sales teams to manage communication from all these different channels or platforms or brands is crucial. So I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Okay.
But also the integrations and the setup in the specific environments, right? So the flexibility of the tool, I guess, is the really important part. That you can link everything with it, whether it's your CRM or your payment platform, or
highly integratable. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. So thank you for that. So up next, we're going to be moving a little bit into the future, let's say. Nothing crazy. I'm not going to ask you 100 years in the future or something like that.
Where's our time capsule?
Yes. I'm going to be starting with you, Tristan, and
Sure.
I wanted to ask you basically what is next in the vision, let's say, that you have for the company, let's say 2 or 3 years from now.
Yeah, completely. So when you talk about it, if you look back, it started as an operations management company, and like I said, we started to identify gaps.
Yeah.
Going forward, I think the vision now for the next 2 to 3 years would be to offer the turnkey solution for the broker industry or the prop firm industry. So if you need to, whether you want to open a broker, you come to us, you talk to us, we do it for you. If you want to open a prop firm, just the same. Are you looking for a trading platform? Sure, we've got it. You're looking for a PSP? We have PSPs on our belt as well. Liquidity connections, operations? Sure, we have partners for them that integrate seamlessly.
Sorry to interrupt you, but for anyone that maybe might not know what PSP is, what does it stand for?
Yeah, it's payment service providers.
Okay. Thank you. Just in case that someone might not know.
Yeah, good point.
But okay.
The bottom line would be that if you want to be involved in the industry, you come to us and we'll handle it for you. It's just, we'll leave it to the professionals and we'll do it for you.
Nice.
And you know who you're working with.
Yes, it's especially going back from what you mentioned at the beginning, that it's more about the relationships and communication that you have with the clients.
Completely.
And you mentioned the affiliates as well, and specifically that part of allowing them to grow as you are already growing as a business. So it's a very beneficial relationship for both parties. So amazing.
While making sure that you remain transparent.
As well, exactly. Which I think it's one of the most key features that Bizcuits has, that there is no, this could get beeped, but I'm not going to say, but there is no smoke and mirrors, let's say. There's nothing in between or anything like that.
Exactly. We eliminate the fog.
Exactly. You go ahead and you tackle immediately any queries that this affiliate may have, especially to make sure that they not only understand what you are offering, but for them to be at peace, I would think.
Exactly. And even from a commercial perspective, right?
Exactly.
We adhere to commercials very well. So
Amazing.
Awesome.
So same over to you, Barbara.
Okay.
Text.
Future.
3 years for now. What's going to happen?
Okay, so yes, the roadmap is rich for the year, that's for sure. For the upcoming years. Heavily focusing on AI enhancements this year, making chatbots smarter, more context aware, faster learning, all of that. Expanding integrations. I mean, that's an important one. Piggyback on the fact that this is a highly flexible tool, easy to integrate with anything that our customers use in their environments.
Okay.
We already have 250, I think, integrations on our marketplace, so apps ready to plug and play. So it's a very rich marketplace, but constantly evolving in that regard, and also in the context of the recent rebranding that I've been kind of mentioning. I think it's important because a lot of people are still confused about the text aspect, because we've been known as LiveChat for so long. Obviously there is a couple of different components to the platform. We have LiveChat, chatbot, help desk, knowledge base. So unifying that experience even more is definitely something we're heavily working on right now. And have some exciting things coming up this year. Not sure how much I can say. So because
it's confidential information, guys. You didn't hear from us.
Yeah, and obviously in the context of all these product developments, it's important to to mention that we're constantly working on, the infrastructure reliability, because one thing is to constantly develop the product, but also maintaining the reliability, which is what has brought us to this place, I think, where we have 40,000 active customers right now,
Nice.
who trust
Very,
us.
very good.
And so that's the plan.
Now, Senor Tristan, going back to you again, and customer experience seems to be everything in trading, especially because it's kind of what can differentiate one platform from another. Clients tend to be very emotional, and it reminded me of what you mentioned as well, Barbara, of psychology and the reaction of clients.
Yeah.
But why do you think it's so critical, and how does text itself help you actually deliver that consistently?
Customer support is extremely important across all industries, right? Now, with that being said, for the trading industry specifically, I would say that when you have customers bringing in a plethora of emotions, those emotions have to be respected, and
Yes,
they have to be adhered to carefully.
Yeah.
So if, for example, the customer is coming with an issue, right, reactive issue about funds or his trading experience, and he's having issues with his trade, whatever the case may be, he's bringing these support tickets forward. It's important for us to remain consistent. It's important for us to make sure that we keep the customer in the loop when we're connecting with him. It also comes from identifying what the possible issues are through the insights itself, instead of waiting for the customer to come through, and that causes
to kind of cut the middleman, let's say, to just reach to...
just be proactive, right?
Okay.
When you have and when you require intervention from other departments, from specialized departments, it's important to remain consistent across those departments as well, which should reflect in the whole operations team. Now, bringing back text does that very well with the integration of their products together, and how the new brand text came together is basically the bridging across the products and how they communicate with each other, which integrates very effectively with our ecosystem.
So, Barbara, now we're going to be moving over to your side, and specifically, what features are really making a difference, let's say, in industries such as brokerages?
Yeah. So I think Tristan already partially answered this question. And by mentioning things like proactive engagement, I think this is crucial. So not just doing damage control and, mitigating frustration in an end user, but proactively showing up when they might need support. And we have tools in place that, can trigger automated support kind of engagement at specific key points where there is a potential of problems coming up or where money's in the picture. Those sensitive spots is where it's important to proactively engage customers, but also making collaborating across departments is what you've mentioned. So collaboration features, routing, setting up different departments in the product, maybe ensuring different flow or customer journey for different maybe departments, or depending on what the end user's intent is. So the flexibility there is definitely something that our platform enables. Those would be the key ones. But also, I think it's important to mention again those integrations, because when agents need to be effective in supporting the end user, it's nice to have everything in one place. So, for example, having easy access to customer details or past history of information or anything like that, then that's another important aspect. So again, integrations and
Okay. No, it's a really, really good answer, honestly. And especially since the fact that you were talking about the agents themselves and support, I wanted to ask you, Tristan, if you could maybe walk us through a little bit on how your support teams are structured.
Yeah, so the first interaction that the customer has to go through when they reach our support lines is the bot, the large language model. So it gets the information from the knowledge base, and if the customer is bringing forward a general query, the chatbot is extracting information from the knowledge base. If the chatbot is unable to provide an answer, it will be routed to the layer 1 general support, which is the second layer of supporting the customer with their query.
Yeah.
If it requires specialized intervention, that is where the customer support through LiveChat escalates to the different departments, such as, for example, payments, the payments team, the compliance team, the trade support team, and so on. And it also is integrated heavily, within a multi-brand environment, which is...
It reminded me of what you mentioned of the ecosystem that Bizcuits wanted to create. And I think it really explains that what you were mentioning before of having all these pieces of the same puzzle kind of setting up what the bigger picture, let's say.
Yeah.
Amazing. And now when it comes to text, Barbara, now the growth, let's say, to support this kind of complex support structures can be challenging. So how has managed text to adapt, let's say, to this kind of environments?
So obviously we are no longer simply a LiveChat provider. We are a full-on support platform with chatbot, helpdesk, knowledge base, and this ability to integrate with nearly anything. So that kind of flexibility allows us to work with all these different businesses. But obviously we focus heavily on partnerships currently. So with businesses like Bizcuits is super valuable for us to understand the industry better. And since they are industry experts, there's lots of value for us in this that can affect, our roadmap and how we develop our product depending on our, depending on the needs of the end users.
Yeah, what they're looking for.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Now, something that I did want to ask you, Tristan, is that, of course, there are other platforms, let's say, like text out there. However, what made it stand out for you?
Yeah, so we definitely did work with other platforms before we were introduced to text. Unfortunately, the other platforms were unable to provide us with key fundamentals that should be brought forward from a customer support platform, which is the ability to set it up outside of the box. Reporting, not effective reporting and insights, for example. And the user experience in general was also something that was quite lacking from the platforms that we were using. So what we did is we contacted LiveChat. One of our employees actually recommended us to go forward and talk to LiveChat. We contacted their sales team. We communicated our expectations from the product, and they understood. Okay. After we decided to take it forward, it was surprisingly very, very efficient. After the contractual agreements were signed, the configuration started, and it took only 1 day to get everything configured.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So out of the box, it's a product that you can just immediately start using. Easy to understand UI and UX. So people that are operating the frontline support, it's easy to navigate and understand, especially if you have worked with other platforms, which are integrated more. So there's quite there's a number of similarities. You can easily flow through it. And the reporting outside of the box is very helpful as well for the customer experience team. Also, that I understand from the head of CX. So
okay, no, and it definitely helps.
Hear that.
Yeah,
amazing. You said it all.
But and you did highlight some very good points, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Because from what I've experienced with text, it's that the chat itself is very seamless, and if you the moment that the customer reaches out to you and everything, it paints a picture of what they may need, so you can move forward right away rather than making it more complicated. But now I'm going to be moving over to you, Barbara. From your experience, Barbara, what do you think that it's going to be setting text apart from other solutions on the market?
Yeah, so both of you said some really important things about the fact that it's a tool that can be used immediately. It's a non-code solution, so it's ready to be used, and it can drive value immediately after the implementation. It can take a day. But even though it's easy to navigate, it can get very sophisticated through everything that is possible to be done with it, and all the different components that can be included and expanded upon. So the flexibility, once again, I think I've said it a few times here today, but it is actually the big differentiating factor, because we can sell the product as it is, but we can also do a lot with it, and we have the expertise, the team, and the resources to assist our customers, especially with larger implementation, with this complex implementation process, custom developments. So I think this is definitely setting us apart. Also, our support. So obviously we are living by it. That's the product we're selling as well. But our support team is amazing. They work around the clock. We have one of the best CSAT scores on the market. So you can always reach out to them, and they're super technical. They can assist you immediately. I hope that's the experience that your team has had as well. But so those two things I will put out there. Okay. There's a lot more, but I don't know how much time we have.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Now, moving a bit from that subject, specifically since it has been just mentioned a bit before, it's AI in support.
Yeah.
Okay. And how is text specifically, let's say, leveraging AI across its own platform?
Yeah, really important question in the context of what's going on in the company these days and our roadmap and the developments. I think the biggest goal is to use the AI to be productive and useful, not just flashy, because we see AI all over the place now. And I think a lot of businesses are, like, for example, in the iGaming space, which is one of the big fields that I personally work with, is that some businesses are scared of the AI because it's mainly promoted as a way to deflect cases and to take load off of the agents, and it is to a certain extent. But I think it's not simply by replacing the customer support with full-on automation, but actually making agents' life easier and making them more productive.
To improve the quality and so on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So not sacrificing the customer experience, obviously, but making it better and better. So, we enhance all of our products, all of our tools within the platform with AI. So it's not just chatbot that is customer facing, but it is for the big part. Yeah. But it's also all these different tools, for example, AI enhancements in LiveChat that will actually make agents work, day-to-day work easier. We have an AI co-pilot, so this kind of a chatbot for agents that supports them with answering the end user's questions based on your content or your internal knowledge base. All across the platform, leveraging AI to make agents' life easier, and obviously boosting customer experience as well eventually.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, completely. And if I had to add something on top of that, it would
Absolutely,
be that because it reflects directly in the CFD brokerage space as well. And when you have the purpose of AI, how I see it, is not to replace the traditional way of communicating with customers.
Exactly.
Intrinsically, humans want to communicate with other humans. Now, there are cases that you can speak to AI, to a bot, right? But there's a difference. There's different complexities of different scenarios, right? So if the customer is bringing forward a question on how to deposit, or they're having issues logging into the platform, that is something that doesn't hold much emotional weight, right? that can be handled by AI.
Right.
But when the customer experienced a bug in the system and he cannot find the 10 grand that he just deposited, which is rare but worth addressing, that is something that holds emotion, right? So when you have, what do you think that customer is going to do? Do you think the customer is going to enjoy talking to a bot?
No, he immediately wants to talk to the owner of the whole establishment as usual. So.
Completely. So
Yeah.
so replacing traditional ways of communication, isn't the way forward.
Yeah.
There has to be human interaction. There has to be people involved that have a soul, that have a heart, that can show empathy to the customer.
Absolutely.
Because that is what the customer will expect.
Yeah, very well put. And sorry to interrupt, but I think that's actually a key point that we're trying to put up front here, that leveraging AI at strategic points, and also context awareness. So, making it as productive as possible, but also in different intensities. So maybe in specific use cases, chatbot can handle more, but then obviously seamless routing to an agent for that human touch where necessary.
True.
So smart usage of the AI and right.
Yeah, completely. And something that comes to mind of how AI can be used is creating a dynamic where sentiment analysis, client profiling, and data analysis come together. So reading client sentiment, building a profile for them, their interaction, their day-to-day interaction with the brand, their day-to-day interaction with the platform itself. How are they reacting to certain issues? What sort of character or emotion they are bringing forward? All of that will be recorded for us to be able to understand how to proactively interact with that particular customer going forward. As the customer's profile continues to build up, it will become easier for us to navigate that particular customer from the frontline perspective. That is something that I'd like more to see from AI as well.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of AI has some bad reputation as well, unfortunately, because of making things up. I think it's important to mention we have an in-house build AI model, and we train it on your individual content. Like it will never make anything up. It's hallucination free.
Yeah.
So it won't answer a question like what's the recipe for a chocolate chip cookie?
No,
or something
completely unrelated. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's an important piece to mention as well. So.
No, and one thing that I would like to add on this subject, I can definitely see now why you chose to work with text, because the vision is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
As in,
absolutely.
You understand that AI is extremely important, but it's not here to substitute the soul, as you mentioned, the human touch, the care factor, and also the adaptability that a prepared, trained agent is going to have when dealing with a customer going through any kind of complications,
Partially, but not completely.
Exactly. And it's, again, it's more about helping improve that service as much as possible with the capabilities that AI has to offer.
Right.
So, yeah.
Always keeping the end user in mind, obviously.
Now, looking ahead, basically, we're reaching now the final part of our beautiful podcast, guys. And it's I wanted to ask you, Tristan, how are clients' expectations, let's say, shifting specifically in the CFD and crypto space?
Yeah, so there was a time where speed and leverage, and if you had, good pricing, was considered to be
like a proper,
decently good broker, yeah. But although that still remains, there are other fundamentals and other pillars that need to be taken into consideration, one of which is transparency and control over the data. What is shown to the customer has to be transparent at all times. They have to have control over all aspects of the user experience. So that's number one. Number two is efficiency. It no longer is the time for the it no longer is acceptable, actually, that the customer applies his KYC or their KYC or KYB on the platform, and they have to wait 24 hours for the
A whole
verification.
business day, yeah.
A verification has to go through,
Yeah.
within a
yeah.
minute tops, right? Deposits, just the same. The client is depositing now. They expect the funds to go through as quickly as possible.
Mhm.
Withdrawals, just the same. Although, there are different procedures that have to be adhered to, but still the customer experience have to remain efficient. And it also reflects in the other, in the remaining avenues. And another thing is from the crypto perspective, because I know that you mentioned crypto. From the crypto
Mhm.
perspective, there are a lot of trading instruments which are introduced on a daily basis, you can say.
Yeah.
And I think Bizcuits does it very well in integrating trading instruments very quickly to their ecosystem.
To have it
So-
amazing.
Yeah. And, adhering to crypto enthusiasts, people that trade crypto,
Mhm.
you need to keep updated there. So
Nice. No, really, really well spoken, honestly, because especially in the, I don't want to sound like a grandpa, by the way, but in the age of social media and all of these, humans became, I don't want to call ourselves animals, but we need to find what we're looking for immediately, basically. Like our rate, let's say, of satisfaction or even the level of focus, let's say, it's something that can be lost quite quickly if it doesn't go your way, or it's going to take longer. Like you said, that KYC process, 24 hours, adios. I don't want to see you anymore. I'll find another one and move forward. So
it's an
Definitely.
attention economy, and if something
Exactly,
else grabs the attention of the customer,
they'll just
that's a
go
lost
straight
customer.
there. Yeah.
So you
sure.
need to be efficient. You need to be effective. You need to have clear communication with the customer,
Yeah.
and you have to know exactly what you're delivering.
No,
That's
absolutely.
pretty much it.
Absolutely. So yeah, guys, now we're going to be going to the final question
Okay.
to wrap it up. It has been an absolute journey. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but if someone is listening and they're interested in either of you, let's say, when it comes to what each of the companies offers, I'll start with you, Tristan. What should they expect, let's say?
Yeah. Whether you are an affiliate and want to be in a safe ecosystem, whether you want to open a broker, whether you want to open a prop firm, whether you are looking for technology, trading platform, CRM, payment service providers, you come to us and you speak to us. You go to our website, www.bizcuits.io, and you can schedule a call with me. I will jump on a call with you, understand your needs, understand what you are looking for, and hold your hand in delivering exactly what you are looking for. That's as
Nice,
simple as it
straight to
gets.
the point and
Right.
very
Are you speaking
easy
to these guys like directly to
to
the camera?
understand.
I
Yeah.
haven't looked there once. Oops. Same question.
Same for you
Okay,
as well,
cool.
Barbara. Yeah.
So a text, we keep it simple and personal. We always start with a conversation to kind of figure out what the need truly is, what the underlying kind of goals or frictions in the strategy are, to kind of find the right approach and the solution. You can also go ahead and purchase our product from our website, but you can also schedule a sales call with me or one of my colleagues. And we'll take you through the process, whether or if we're working with Bizcuits. It's definitely more of like a collaborative partnership where they bring in this strategic layer. My gosh, this has been a hard word today. They bring in the strategic layer, and we bring in the tech expertise and exchange there. That's it.
Something else to note is that we are also integrated in the LiveChat in the text marketplace. You can find us as Bizcuits. So if you're a
very,
text
very
user,
good point.
we're on there as well.
Amazing.
Nice.
Good stuff.
So, guys, unless you have any last words that you would like to say.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Thank you so
twice.
much.
Yeah.
No, honestly, thank you so much. I think it was a great
Thank you, guys.
opportunity for all of us to truly get to understand from where Bizcuits came from, and also the history of text and how it has grown to
exactly.
where it is at the moment. And it's also clear that when you combine both a thoughtful service, as you mentioned, that text, it's mostly working towards always looking for the clients' emotions and understanding where they're coming from, but also
For sure.
Bizcuits as well. That we're not just here to give us the money and things are going to happen. No, a proper conversation will happen. We will listen to you. We will adapt and adhere to your needs and move forward from there.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you so much, guys.
Isn't it great?
Definitely, we will be having another episode
Yeah.
one time soon, hopefully sooner than later. But just wanted to say once again, thank you. And
Thank
until
you.
next time, and we'll see you
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you.
Triple high five.